Bonjour, babes, and welcome back to Not Your French Girl, the podcast where two femmes in Paris expose the truth behind the croissant filter.
Yeah, and where we're asking the question no one dares to. Is every French girl smoking a cigarette, sipping on wine, and stepping out of a Vogue French cover?
A spoiler alert, I don't think so. Sometimes she's in sweatpants eating McDonald's complaining about the metro strikes.
Yeah, and today we're decoding those stereotypes.
Yeah.
Netflix, TikTok, group chats. The French girl is basically a brand. And brands, you know, they always tell half of the story.
And today we're going to go a little bit deeper, not just dragging like baguettes, berets, but we're going to ask really the real questions about like where did these images come from? Who do they really represent? And what do they mean for young French people growing up in such a multicultural France?
Yeah, let's peel the onion, babe.
Let's go.
Okay, first things first. The French girl didn't fall out of the sky wearing this like trench coat. She was basically invented, right?
I think so, like kind of built by brands, films, tourism ads, even fashion magazines. The glossy photo, black and white photo, basically, I think, of like, I don't know, Brigitte Bardot on the Riviera.
So
you
true.
have Audrey Hepburn from Funny Face, Amélie with the quirky bob haircut, or like nowadays with like Emily in Paris on Netflix. I feel
Yes.
like this is like giving a lot of like croissants and good vibes, but it's not the reality.
Yeah. Basically a fantasy export, right?
Honestly, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, messy hair, but perfect skin, oversized men's shirt, no bra,
Always.
eats bread all day, but still keeps to be a size 2.
I wish.
Honestly, math does not check out here.
I swear. This isn't, sorry guys, this wasn't like accidental. This is like luxury brands, fashion, cinema. They pushed it. They sell the perfume, sell romance, and they sell Paris.
Yeah, but it's very Paris-centric. Upper class, hetero, classic Saint-Germain, terrace girl vibes,
Yeah.
you know, not the whole country.
Nice. I think that too. I feel like that erases so much of like the reality in France. Like you have the North African families in Marseille. You have the Afro-French girls in Paris, the Asian French kids in the banlieue. You have the Caribbean communities. You have the people living in the farm, the farmer side, the countryside. It's a mosaic, not a single aesthetic.
Yeah, and that's the irony on it. A global stereotype like most French don't see themselves in.
Okay, so that's the fantasy. But what does it feel like for young people who are living in France today?
Honestly, it's a delicate topic because I think for Gen Z, it's not just funny. It's like a lot of pressure. Like if you don't fit on the Instagram idea of Frenchness, like are you even like French?
I feel that a lot. Like it's like the clean girl aesthetic like we see nowadays on like Instagram and
exactly.
TikTok, like the glazed skin, gold hoops, like back hair. And if you don't fit this, it's like you're invisible and you don't fit in. And it becomes the gatekeeper of like life.
Exactly. I think especially with TikTok nowadays, I think you feel like you need to fit into all those like aesthetics, like the clean girl, the Russian mob wife, you know?
Yeah,
It's like it
exactly.
changes so fast and you have to adapt your entire life on this.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like so hard.
Super hard. And then imagine when it's for like your own like nationality. It's like even
Yes.
like more excruciating, like when you're like, I can't, where do I fit in?
And I think it's even harder because it changes your personality because I, for instance, I'm not a clean girl aesthetic. I'm really like showing my personality and everything through my clothes, through my makeup.
Yeah.
And then it's so hard to fit in and then you feel like you need to change your entire personality because otherwise you feel like you don't fit in. And can you imagine for like young like people, you know?
Yeah.
I think it's hard for them because they're creating this personality. And then they feel like they need to fit. And then 6 months, they need to fit in another aesthetic. Like, this is so hard.
But yeah, but this is true that I feel like the younger generation today, they're more standing up for like who they are, their individualism. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
who they are, what they represent. Like it's more talked about like than I feel like our generation. Well, it's not like we're that old or like we're dinosaurs, but I do feel like we adapted more to like trends and social media because that was like, that's when it came out. It was like when we were born kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And then can you imagine like being full French, eating like croissants and pain au chocolat like every morning, but still you don't fit the French aesthetics just because you're not like a clean girl and then you don't wear like a marinière and like red lipstick every day. And you don't have like the crooked teeth.
Yeah, honestly, that's heavy. And living in your own country, but basically trying to prove that you belong here, it gives like double identity vibes, to be honest.
Yeah, and I think it hits even harder for people that are outside this Parisian chic fantasy, you know? Like from the style, background, the type of like food you eat, the type of music you consume, like,
Yeah.
you know, you feel like you don't fit.
Yeah, it's like a very narrow image. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And bottom line, stereotypes aren't harmless. They erase, they pressure, they exclude. And being French isn't just one vibe, it's multiple vibes. colliding, remixing, coexisting. And for me, I don't know how you feel about that, but for me, that's the real friends.
Yeah, especially in Paris because you have like so many different cultures here.
Yeah.
You can find like people from everywhere like in the streets.
Exactly.
So yeah, but should we play a little game?
To lighten it up a bit?
Yes, exactly. Since we're like talking about like some heavy subjects.
Yes.
Should we play a little stereotype bingo?
Let's go.
Okay, first one, let's just break it really quick. The rude waiter.
Honestly, I don't think they're rude. I think this is a cultural difference. I feel like in France, they just leave you alone. Like, they respect you.
Yeah, I think they just don't want to like put pressure, you know? Like it takes time to decide on which wine are you taking or like which plate are you eating. So like
Absolutely. And it's not like, it's
give
more
you
just like
space.
the aspect of like independent dining rather than bad service as it would be seen in like Australia or the States or something.
exactly.
Okay, the next one. Romantic Frenchmen.
Honestly, girl, in reality, I don't think they're that romantic. It's more like they ghost you and they be like, no, let's just vibe, you know? It's really like a rom-com vibes.
And the intellectual terrace smoker.
Oh, girl.
The ones that we always see in the movies when he's
no,
there
girl.
smoking his cigarette.
Yeah, but when you go have a conversation in deep, the guy doesn't even know how to say a word.
I swear.
It's just for the vibes, you know?
This is true.
There's a lot of image, I think, here in Paris. They need to give you this image and they're worried about their image, not worried about what's like deep, you know?
That's how it could be perceived, you know what I mean? I mean, we don't know everyone, so.
Yeah, exactly.
But even talking about like French guys and everything, I feel like the most like Gen Z, French Gen Z, I think like old Gen Z are like just like scrolling on TikTok under the tables on their phone while sipping a wine.
Yeah, exactly, because they never leave their phones.
Exactly. So honestly, I think we're at the place where stereotypes start with a kernel of truth and then they explode into myths.
Yeah, I think that too.
Okay, but let's zoom in into Gen Z, the real remix of Friends.
Yeah, because honestly, if you only know Paris or France through Emily in Paris, you're missing the remix.
Honestly, exactly. Gen Z, like French culture is diverse, it's global, multilingual, and someone might mix like French, Arabic, English, and in like one sentence, and basically it's a slang, everyday life language.
And yeah, and music proves it too, because French rap is the king. You have Aya Nakamura, you have Jules, you have Nino, you have Booba, and you have all the other different types of music. You have Afro music, Caribbean music, like Zouk, and then you also have like American, even Brazilian you have in here. And here's the fun part, because honestly, youth is aware of like all of the stereotypes. They even like parody it.
Yeah, for sure. KFC in the sweatpants, surviving the arrière.
Yes, and all of this while the internet still thinks the French girl lives in tiny apartments with Eiffel Tower views.
Exactly like in The Summer I Turned Pretty.
Oh my god, yeah, so true. But that was Sacré-Cœur views.
Yeah, but like still like...
Yeah. Honestly, the Sacré-Cœur just behind her writing her little letters.
I was
This
like...
is such a stereotype.
And I'm sorry, she didn't have any like vis-a-vis.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, just
honestly.
randomly like...
Yeah, she's just paying for it with like a daub in the bar.
Of course.
Super
The
real.
irony.
Yeah, perfect.
It's irony as resistance. We see your postcard Paris, but here's reality.
Yeah, and honestly, this version is way more interesting. It shows the real Paris.
Yeah. Speaking of reality, let's get personal.
Yeah, to be honest, when did we become a stereotype?
Easy. Complaining about everything, girl. Metro, rain, monoprix lines, full French mode, to be honest.
Being like, pfft, honestly,
All the
French.
time.
My moment was when I tucked this baguette under my arm without
God.
even noticing. And I was just like, oh my God, I'm becoming French. Excuse me.
But then there's the moments where we kind of break the stereotype. Like teens after school, eating kebabs, sipping bubble tea, blasting rap, laughing in hoodies. Like, that's as French as red lipstick on a terrace, to be honest.
Yes, and saying out loud really matters because the real France needs to be seen.
Absolutely. And I feel like the biggest takeaway from this, from what we asked, was what is behind the French stereotype.
Yeah, because it's not just one person, one look, one vibe. It's like millions of different people in only one country.
Exactly. The cliches, the beret, the terrace cigarettes. Fun, iconic, but honestly, it's not reality.
Yeah, they're all different, but they're still all French. And the reality is way bigger.
Yeah.
We have like boulevards, but still we have banlieue, we have kebab, and we have croissants.
We have the rap and the accordion.
Oh, yes.
And the metro strikes and fashion highways, girl. Like
Yes,
fashion
that's so
runways,
true.
sorry. That was
It's
dumb.
like the opposites, but still, they live well together.
Merci for listening today, guys. We know it's a little bit of a touchy subject, but we're really happy that we have the opportunity to talk about this. So send us your favorite French stereotype stories. Funny, strange, shocking. We might share them in on our social medias or in our upcoming TikToks that are coming up.
Yeah, exactly. And remember, you're not a stereotype. You're not even a baguette. You're your full self completely and
gorgeous.
Exactly.
So let's see you guys next week.
À la semaine prochaine. Bisous.